What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, although it feels like we just got through with Wakanda Forever, as we speak towards the end of the year, we are right around the corner from the press junket for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It'll only be about 3 or so more weeks before they start running out the brand new TV spot trailers every day. You guys know the deal in the lead up to the February drop. However, the tip of the iceberg has shown itself as we've had the very first interview for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and while they spoke to Jonathan Majors about Kang, the future of that villain, which Avengers he wants to fight, and even Avengers 5, which we'll get into all of that during this video, they also spoke to the director and Peyton Reed, and one of the first questions the interviewer asked wasn't even about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it was about the Marvel Studios Fantastic Four reboot. We're going to break down the entirety of the interview, go over all the questions and the points of note. There are definitely some answers in here that are interesting, including Kang in Avengers 5 and the Fantastic Four concept art. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. We're also giving away daily comics. We'll announce a brand new winner at the end. So again, all you got to do, be a sub, drop a comment, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this interview was posted yesterday by the Spanish outlet Somos Geeks, and what I can tell again is the very first junket interview for Quantumania. He starts with Peyton Reed, and the very first thing he says is, "Before we even begin, you were my first choice to direct the Fantastic Four. Sorry." And Peyton Reed's response is actually extremely endearing, and you can tell extremely earnest. He goes on to say, "I developed Fantastic Four for about a year, 22 years ago, way pre-Marvel, and at the time, Fox didn't want to make a movie as big as the movies are now. So I think I sort of channeled my passion for the Fantastic Four into the Ant-Man movies because, you know, they're both stories about families of superheroes. And 20 years is a long time. I want someone else to do Fantastic Four. Matt Shakman is gonna do great." And then he jokingly turns right to the camera and says, "Between you and me, I've seen initial artwork for the Fantastic Four stuff around the Marvel offices, and it's gonna be great." Now, it's exciting in and of itself to hear about concept art for the Fantastic Four, and especially over 2 years before the film comes out in the Marvel office right now. But as Marvel fans, and over the last couple of years, we've been treated to a ton of that concept art, either on social media, Instagram, maybe even from the artists themselves, or officially released by Marvel in art books and the such after the films have come out. And usually, if the character isn't wearing a mask, which none of the Fantastic Four do, the actor likenesses are included in a lot of that art. For instance, Daniel Craig is Boulder the Brave, and he wasn't even in the film. So while probably it may be a bit of a reach to think this concept art is sitting around the office with the casting for the Fantastic Four already revealed, what I will say is it's interesting he's seen some of this stuff because of the rumors of the Fantastic Four involvement with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania going back as far as 3 years. We've heard they may already be in the quantum realm. Reed Richards may have a cameo, maybe even Nathaniel Richards. And again, that might also be wishful thinking, but maybe there's something to it why he's seen this art in the first place. Again, for a movie that's 2 years away, because it may come into play with what's going on in this film. Speaking of which, the interviewer asked Jonathan Majors a lot about his different variations of Kang, why he took the role, and how maybe they're different than what we've already seen from He Who Remains. And Jonathan Majors was straight up. He wanted to take this role, as he said, and made the joke, "It's a miracle to be hired for anything as an actor, and it's standard to get one role." Marvel Studios pitched him on multiple iterations, which made it a lot more interesting in him wanting to tackle it, and then was asked point blank how the Kang we're about to see in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was different than He Who Remains, and his answer was sort of, each Kang is particular to their own world and has to serve the world they're in. So what he was talking about there, because it sort of sounds like, well, Kang the Conqueror is in the quantum realm and He Who Remains is in the tower at the end of time. That's not really what he meant. He was talking meta about the films they're in, and what he ultimately ended up saying, which I really liked as an answer, was the space between the differences in his versions of Kang is the space between the difference of Tom Hiddleston and Paul Rudd. They're very different leading men. These are different directors, different movies, different stories, and that's going to sort of tell the course of the characterization of the character. It's all about playing into the role he's playing at the time, which leads the interviewer to say, "I know I may be wandering into spoiler territory here, but is this version of Kang, the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania version, the same version we'll see in Avengers 5? To which Jonathan Majors, you can tell he's telling the truth because he doesn't skip a beat, immediately says, "Oh, I don't even know the answer to that. I wish I did, so I could tell you I don't, but I really don't." And there's really two reasons why. Number one, they're probably not even done with the Kang Dynasty Avengers 5 script, and even if they are, if you remember how they ran Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, they told a lot of these actors very little to avoid spoilers. So even when they are finally done with the final version of the script, there's a real good chance that these characters might not have the full picture while they're shooting these scenes, and again, that's Marvel Studios' way of combating plot leaks. He then was asked which Avengers he wants to fight with or against, etc., to which he calls out three very interesting names: Letitia Wright, Florence Pugh, and even Anthony Ramos, who will be playing the Hood, the villain in the upcoming Ironheart series. But what he says is genuinely that these actors inside the MCU and outside the MCU are what he calls the avant-garde of a generation, which means doing something new, unusual, being willing to, in the classical sight of superhero movies, take such serious craft and apply it to them. And he says and acknowledges ultimately that they're the avatars of these characters with deep mythologies, which I don't know if he meant to sort of make the metaphor there in light of how Moon Knight treated avatars, but he's right. These actors come and take these roles that have been around for these characters for so long in publishing and in the comics, and the fact that they're all willing to be so grounded and serious about it and do the work is what he says really makes it happen. Just generally, I think there's a really good chance that Kang will end up being the ultimate villain of Secret Wars, that they won't have time to develop a Doctor Doom. I keep talking about this because we genuinely have no idea, and I think every project that goes by, the closer we get to Secret Wars without a Doctor Doom in the MCU, means more likely Kang will end up being the ultimate villain of this multiverse saga, and who knows how many iterations, how many generations of the character we're going to see between now and then that he's going to play. I think there's also a really good chance that we're going to see multiple versions of him on screen at the exact same time. Kang interacting with Kang, played by Jonathan Majors, and for an actor of his ilk and in this sort of story, that kind of context, you can see why that's very appealing. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. The hype for the Fantastic Four, the hype for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and for Jonathan Majors Kang. I am all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We are still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 1 million subscribers, which we have picked up speed, and I said might hit by the end of the month, but honestly, we might hit that in a couple of weeks. All you have to do to be entered for the PlayStation or the daily comic book giveaway, which we'll announce here in a second, the brand new winner for today, is hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. The winner for today's exclusive comic book variant is... Congratulations. All you have to do, DM me on Instagram at IamFires, or go ahead and email me under the About section on my channel. There's my business email. I'll verify your account and get it right out to you guys, and it's that simple for any of the giveaways at the channel. The daily comic book giveaway, the PlayStation giveaway, any of the future giveaways. All you got to do, be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify and everywhere else with original music under All Fires. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.